Tonight, if you build it, will they buy? London's housing market, what's holding it back and what could spur more sales?
Some of these factors can really make a huge difference.
Plus, recruiting women for the workforce.
It really inspires me, just seeing how amazing the women here have been able to progress and be creative.
Addressing the local need for skilled trades. And the $1 million chase.
If it contains the ace of spades, then they win the whole progressive pot.
A Sarnia lottery and its ever-growing jackpot.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. New housing numbers show building permits in London are slowing down. Despite that, local home builders are painting an optimistic picture, suggesting there are reasons to expect that to soon change. With more, here's Jerry Dewan.
There continues to be steady activity in the housing market in London, but building permits issued in the first 3 months of this year were down more than 5% when compared to the same period last year.
Last year was actually a pretty decent year, all things considered. We certainly expected this year would be a little bit slower to start.
But since those figures were collected, new programs have been announced that Zaitman says will help housing grow, starting with the HST rebate on new homes.
The HST rebate is a big one. So now people can get up to $130,000 off of every new home purchase. That's great. One, for inventory homes, but also for builders now signing new contracts with potential purchasers going forward.
Zaitman says other new programs are also going to bolster the housing industry.
There is also the development charge incentive program that the province and feds are rolling out. We don't have all the details yet, but looking forward to seeing what that looks like. City Council just approved the permit fee waiver program. So that's great, especially for apartments. If you're going to do a 100, 200 unit apartment building, that could be a couple $100,000 that can really help someone get a project started.
Zaitman believes economic uncertainty, mostly fueled by trade wars, continues to make prospective buyers wary. He points to an Abacus poll that shows 78% of people who admit interest in home ownership are kept on the sidelines by fees, taxes, and other economic factors. That's where the government programs come in.
Some of these factors can really make a huge difference in changing that and making the dream of home ownership still a reality for many people in this country.
Zaitman says just 10 years ago, the average age of a new home buyer was 30. He says that average age is now 40 years old. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
It's deadline day for most Canadians to file their 2025 taxes, and failure to do so could mean penalties on balances owed. With more on the best advice from experts, here's Scott Hurst.
It may seem daunting if you have not yet filed your taxes just hours before the deadline, but for so many of us, it can be beneficial too. Last year, Canadians filed more than 33 million tax returns, with 93% filed online. The Revenue Agency says backlogs and delays are being addressed in part through AI-driven modernization, and claims responsiveness has doubled. In fact, according to the CRA, more than $45 billion in refunds were delivered last year, with taxpayers getting an average refund of about $2,000. Experts often suggest putting most toward debt or savings while setting aside a smaller portion for fun. A recent survey by EQ Bank found only about 9% of those expecting a refund plan to spend it on discretionary items like traveling or dining out.
Double check your slips, make sure that you've got all the slips. Look at your last year's tax return to make sure it looks consistent. This is the final chance for accuracy and completeness, because once you file it, to make changes, you have to go through a formal process to do that. So try to get things right, immediately.
Other suggestions for that refund include putting it towards a tax-free savings account, a TFSA or RRSP, a family emergency fund, or paying down high-interest debt such as lines of credit or credit cards. Today may be the deadline for most. However, if you are self-employed, you still have more time to file. Officially, that deadline is June 15th. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Gas prices across the country were expected to rise higher today, even more than yesterday's steep increase. As Adrian Gobriel reports, there's no sign of an immediate resolution in Iran, and that means it could get worse at gas stations before it gets better.
Fuming while fueling up.
I'm fed up. I can't take it anymore.
From fed up to frustration to, the next step is despair.
The pain at the pump has hit a new peak due to these average prices across the country today, with Vancouver topping out as the most expensive city at nearly $2.17 a litre. Depending on where you live, a cross-country spike between 8 to 12 cents is predicted to be on tap for tomorrow.
Whether you be in Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, or the East Coast, Atlantic Canada, prices are going up everywhere.
While the price humanity has paid for the war in Iran can't be qualified in dollars and cents, the subsequent closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran is costing the global economy billions, with 20% of the world's oil supply unable to pass through these troubled waters.
The United States blockade of Iranian shipping is costing the Iranian regime about $500 million a day in lost oil revenues. And for the United States, I mean, they've spent about $25 billion worth of munitions.
Economists say the closure of the strait has already been priced into the oil market. Fears of a prolonged conflict in Iran is now driving prices towards record levels.
The more that prices continue to rise is more belief in the markets that this isn't going to resolve itself anytime soon.
Even if a peace deal were to be reached today, those keeping a close eye on the oil market believe it would take months before any reprieve arrives.
The gap that has been created is over 1 billion barrels of oil a day is missing. It's going to take a long time to recover that. Vessels don't travel at light speed to move oil from one place to another.
For Canadians, the impact could reach far beyond the price at the pumps. If the conflict isn't resolved by this summer, there's legitimate concerns that inflation could once again tick upwards, along with interest rates. Some petroleum analysts believe without a timely resolution in the Strait of Hormuz, we could see gas prices across Canada climb another 50 cents per litre in the months ahead. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Good evening. It's a cold one out there as we usher out the month of April. Temperatures are well below normal. We still have some showers moving through this evening. Just east of London right now through Norfolk, Haldimand, and in and around Niagara, some light rainfall. Still a slight chance for some showers through the evening in London, but we are seeing some peaks of sunshine. Temperatures are averaging about 6 to 8 degrees below where we typically are this time of year. Wyerton at 7 degrees on the hour, and as we head to Mount Forest and Kitchener-Waterloo, 8 to 9 degrees. We have a frost advisory in effect for tonight. Temperatures will be dropping below the freezing mark in London, -2, the forecast low. St. Thomas, 0, Woodstock, -2. So if you have some frost-sensitive plants and you want to get out and cover those up, that would be a good idea as temperatures are set to drop off. Coming up, we'll talk about the potential impact on the strawberry season. I'll have all of that coming up in just a few minutes. Carlyle?
Thanks very much, Julie. A crash this morning caused significant slowdowns on Veterans Memorial Parkway. According to police, 2 vehicles were involved at Bradley Avenue around 8 a.m. One of the cars took out a traffic light and ended up in the ditch. The traffic issues stemmed from the lane closures required for clearing the scene. No serious injuries were reported. Jury members in Windsor have awarded a victim more than $2 million related to a crash in London 7 years ago. They ruled a motorcycle rider from Windsor had the right of way when a driver turned into him, causing life-altering injuries.
A fracture to his right wrist, and he's right-hand dominant. A right femur fracture that needed a rod inserted, and then he needed a subsequent surgery on that leg. He also had some fractured vertebrae in his neck and a brain bleed, even though he was wearing a full face helmet at the time of the collision.
The victim's lawyer says the insurance company for the woman who hit the motorcycle rider had only offered compensation worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, she says this verdict is about more than money.
I think it's fair to say that he feels relief. He feels like justice was served. We all did when that jury verdict came back, because this is a person who suffered tremendous injuries and has had a very real, tangible change in his life, and he's going to be suffering with it for the rest of his life. So to hear that verdict and just to know that he was believed by the jury and that the truth came out was so gratifying.
Provincial police say they've laid an impaired driving charge in Lambton County against someone riding an e-bike. As Brian Bicknell reports, the potential penalties are the same as someone driving a vehicle.
For some, it's a convenient alternative to driving a car, but those who choose an e-bike to get to and fro are subject to the same laws around impaired driving as any driver on the roads, according to Provincial Police.
Drivers are reminded that no amount of alcohol or drugs in your system is safe to operate your conveyance with. Impaired is impaired.
Lambton OPP says on April 10th, officers were on patrols in Plimpton, Wyoming, when they conducted a traffic stop in a parking lot on Oil Heritage Road. A 52-year-old Sarnia man was charged with impaired operation of an e-bike.
If it is propelled by any force other than muscular force, you can be charged with impaired driving offense. And that offense doesn't necessarily have to occur on a highway. It can occur on private parking lots as well.
The alleged impaired e-bike operator had his license suspended for 90 days and his vehicle impounded for 7 days.
Doesn't necessarily shock me.
Bike mechanic Aaron Greenhouse says sometimes it's drivers who have already lost their license riding e-bikes.
You know, bicycles or e-bikes or e-scooters for that matter can be a bit of a way for people that have had past charges with drinking or something like that to kind of still get around.
Now, in spite of the fact that an e-bike rider can be charged under the Highway Traffic Act, according to police, unlike a car or a truck, you don't need registration, you don't need a license plate, and you don't need insurance. Cycling advocate Andrew McClanagan says when laws are violated, he supports enforcement, but he has reservations.
Who's really bearing the risk? So as a cyclist, if I break a rule, I'm really putting myself at risk. As a driver, I decide to rip through Wortley Village. Maybe I'm intoxicated, I'm distracted. I'm essentially putting everyone else outside my vehicle at risk. So it's an interesting choice.
In the meantime, the alleged impaired e-bike operator was released from custody and has a court appearance set for next month. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Premier Doug Ford met with a range of international leaders today, part of his push to turn Ontario into a global trading hub. However, as Siobhan Morris reports, there's growing skepticism about the province's path in the midst of a trade war.
After weeks of intense criticism, slipping polling numbers, and a recent retreat from reporters' questions, Premier Doug Ford co-hosted a roundtable high above downtown Toronto, welcoming 15 consuls general from around the world.
To hear from each and every one of you how we can increase trade on both sides, ourselves and within your countries as well.
Part of the drive to diversify Ontario's trade, still challenged by American tariffs. The visuals reminiscent of Ford's peak Captain Canada days, leading the Council of the Federation.
I see today's meeting as a course correction, a deliberate, clear, unmistakable attempt by him and his office to get back to the issues that work best for him with voters.
Speaking with CTV News, the Premier brushed off criticism from those who wonder if he's lost his way.
You know, in politics, you're up, you're down, and, you know, we're still in a strong position, and we're going to keep moving forward.
The government's recent purchase and return of a jet for the Premier's use at work raised questions about whether he understands what Ontarians are going through.
You know,
are you taking any of that card?
Well, not at all, considering I'm the only guy in the world, not Canada, in the entire world, that hands out his phone number. I could pull my phone out right now, and I'll show you. I'm at like every minute and a half, I'm behind 9,323 messages.
Keeping what's on that phone out of public view is behind a recent overhaul to freedom of information laws. Those changes are now keeping records related to removal of land from the Greenbelt secret.
As far as I'm concerned, that's quite a ways ago, a long time ago. We're moving forward. We're going to focus on the economy and the jobs, and that's what people are concerned about.
That's not how the Liberals see it.
No, actually, the RCMP are still investigating it. People want to know why.
The NDP leader believes Ontarians should get to see inside those files.
It's not only about the Greenbelt. It's about how does the government make decisions and on whose behalf.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
An opportunity for local girls today to get hands-on experience in the trades. As Lauren Stallone reports, the demand for those skills is rising in the face of a mounting workforce shortage.
Female high school students gathered at Fanshawe College for the annual Jill of All Trades event.
I've always loved working with my hands and helping out around the house and helping my dad with all of his little projects.
The workshop is designed to inspire young women to pursue a career in skilled trades and technologies.
They're working with mentors who are, talking about what happens in the industry and their own experiences as either apprenticeship or a journey person or a skilled trades person.
Students get to participate in a variety of activities, including this here behind me, located in the CNC lab, where students get to make and take home their very own C-clamp.
I just wanted to get hands-on with everything.
Students say the opportunity to learn from and work with like-minded women is empowering.
It really inspires me, just seeing how amazing the women here have been able to progress and be creative with whatever they want to do.
It's very inspiring for, I feel like, not just myself, but everyone else here today. It's really good to see other girls, see what we can become.
Experts say this comes at a time when the need for skilled trades workers is critical, now more than ever.
We are going to need 950,000 new skilled trade graduates coming up over the next decade, which means 95,000 employees every year for the next 10 years to fill that gap.
Zoe Davey knows firsthand the challenges of working in a male-dominated industry and how to push past them.
It's good to meet the people who will be there and who will support you and fight for you, but you need to know that you earned your spot there as much as anybody else did.
While they know the road ahead won't be easy, that isn't stopping future generations from claiming their place in the industry.
I feel like events like this help really change that and to give girls more confidence and yeah, I belong.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Ontario lottery officials are reporting another major jackpot winner in our region. They say last night's winning $5 million Lotto 649 ticket was sold somewhere in Oxford County, but no specific store has been provided. They also say a ticket worth about $185,000 was sold in Grey County. And just last week, OLG reported a pair of Londoners claimed a record $80 million Lotto Max jackpot. Now, long lines are stretching out in Sarnia as a local lottery jackpot hits $1.6 million. With more on the Catch the Ace craze and the cause it's supporting, here's Sean Irvin.
The best way to measure the excitement surrounding a $1.6 million jackpot in Sarnia is to take a walk. On multiple downtown blocks, people are lined up, each one firmly believing they are about to be very rich, thanks to the Chase the Ace lottery draw being run by Branch 62 of the Royal Canadian Legion.
I've been manifesting this for 64 years. I feel it.
And with some waiting hours to get in line to get their hands on a ticket, they have some time to dream about how they'd spend the money.
Go on trips.
Go on trips, eh? Where to?
Probably Greece.
But some, like Claudette McKay, only laughed when we asked where she would disappear to. You'll really be laughing if you win all that.
That's right.
Lots of those in line have plans to retire, including one man wearing an ace on his shirt.
Well, I'd help out a pile of causes too, but I'd start enjoying life more.
To win the lottery, you must first pick a number from a board and enter your name in a draw. The winner automatically gets the weekly prize, which last week topped out at $114,232. The lucky ticket holder also picks from that board to try to catch the ace.
And that person goes over to our board, selects a numbered envelope, we rip it open. If it contains the ace of spades from a deck of cards, then they win the whole progressive pot.
Well, the winner gets a huge prize. The Legion, once struggling to survive, gets money to fix its building, help veterans, and support local charities. Now, last year at about this time, the ace was selected and the winner took home about $700,000. Needless to say, the addition of almost $1 million more has driven these lines around City Hall and multiple downtown buildings. So by now, you're likely wondering who was first in line. Well, after arriving at 1:30 a.m., this man was able to take a seat inside. His name, believe it or not, is Ace. And you're feeling lucky.
Well, today I am because of 1.6.
That's a lot of dough for a man who oddly resembles someone who gives a lot at a certain time of year.
Definitely I'll be giving lots of money to lots of people.
Will you do it in a jolly red suit, sir? Yes, believe it or not, Ace is one of Santa's top helpers, although we wonder if perhaps he's more than he lets on. When we asked him if he was headed north if he won all the money, he quickly conceded.
North Pole, 10-4.
In Sarnia, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
When we come back, the future home of a multinational defense bank. It'll be built in Canada, but now the competition heats up to determine a host city.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Few could argue that this is the site of the greatest moment in London's history.
Imagine a London doctor developed a cure for cancer. That's the same impact.
For Banting to be a person, you know, that's someone who's our hero and our savior.
Insulin is Canada's gift to the world, and it started right here in London.
London 200, the story of Banting House, tomorrow at 6 on CTV News.
A new multinational bank focused on defense will be headquartered in Canada. It's a new venture meant to help smaller companies get loans so they can grow in the global security sector. Judy Trin reports.
As NATO nations ramp up to spend 5% of their GDP on defense by 2035, a new multinational bank with headquarters in Canada is being created to help smaller companies access loans to expand.
By pooling together, we're stronger financially, and it's a testament to Canada's reputation, Canada's commitment, Canada's financial expertise.
The Defence, Security and Resilience Bank could consist of as many as 40 NATO nations and allies, all contributing to a funding pool of $135 billion US. You have in the Ottawa office? This Ottawa technology company uses AI to help the Royal Canadian Navy analyze the moves of enemy ships. Anvil wants to expand to Europe and is hoping the multinational defense bank will open doors.
Having people who have walked that path before and can help guide successful companies like ours through that path, I think that's a major benefit for Canada, and I'm very hopeful that the DSRB will be will be one of those conduits.
Where in Canada the defense bank will be located hasn't been determined, but the lobbying has already begun from Vancouver to Montreal to Toronto.
We have all the banks here, the financial sector here.
The national capital is also making a case.
We're the home of 130 plus foreign missions and embassies. The World Bank is in Washington. It's not in New York City. This is the place where defense innovation is happening.
At this point, no start date for the bank has been set, and it's also unclear how much each member nation, including Canada, will contribute to the pool of funds. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Skepticism today on multiple fronts as federal government leaders weigh the idea of selling off airports to the private sector. Abigail Beeman has more on the criticism and where the proposal stands.
More details trickling out about the government's plans to explore privatizing airports after the spring economic update said it's still on the table.
From place to place, from facility to facility, how we can maximize the gains for Canadians.
The transport minister says they will look at each airport separately. Ottawa owns 41. 23 of the biggest are leased to third-party airport authorities.
I think that's a very complicated issue, but I think they need to be more fiscally responsible. Maybe they wouldn't be selling off Canadian assets.
History is littered with examples of the failures of privatization, and this is a potentially a very costly and dangerous plan.
With critics quickly coming forward, concerned about already high airfare and the potential for fees to creep higher.
I'm very suspicious because one group of people who are sure to gain from it are those who may be buying the airport.
Airport user fees account for about 30 cents of every dollar of a regular airfare that a Canadian purchases. That's not an insignificant cost. And so if there is a way to lower that, presumably you'd be able to increase your volumes.
This aviation lawyer says it's possible privatization could lower prices too, and at this point the government seems to be looking at all kinds of options.
We need to take a very close look before we proceed, precisely because there are cautionary tales in private investment at airport, but there are also genuine success stories.
The head of Calgary's Airport Authority says he understands firsthand the pros and cons of privatization, but for now,
if we can have a structure that keeps our world-class safety and security, keeps a high quality and affordability for passengers, and we drive our economies, if we can do that in a better structure, let's do it. And so let's have that conversation.
Outside of Calgary, airport authorities across the country aren't saying much. The Canadian Airports Council sent us a one-line statement. They're working with the government on the evolution of the airport model and are exploring investment opportunities. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now, Julie's with me on the desk now. We've been talking about some chilly temperatures this week, and it's getting outright cold tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We do have a frost advisory in effect tonight, and temperatures, Carlyle, will drop below freezing in parts of the region. And this will have some farmers working overtime. I chatted with Will Heeman from Heeman's about the frosty nights ahead and the challenges of protecting the strawberry crop.
So -2 means that we're in for what is typical at this time of year. It's something that as a berry farmer in Ontario, us and farmers across the region are prepared for that. We've been putting out the irrigation, getting that set up. We put out the blankets on the everbearing ones that are already out there, and that's bringing on the flowering, and that's giving them protection for -2. We're not worried about those at that point. The June-bearing strawberries that are starting to bloom, we do need to put the irrigation out. And what we do is we put out water that has a higher temperature, and then it raises the ambient air temperature around it. When it splashes on the flower, it keeps it above 0. The strawberry flowers themselves freeze at -0.5. So long as we can keep them above that or at 0 or higher, then we're good. And even just the actual chemical reaction of the water getting into the cold and then freezing, it gives off a little bit of heat, which again keeps that flower protected. There's not a thickness of blanket that will be enough to trap enough heat and keep them protected at -5. So we have to go out and putting out pipes and getting that all set up now, which typically we don't do for the everbearing strawberries. And those everbearing strawberries are the one that if we do our job right and everything works out okay, we should be picking strawberries off of in 3-4 weeks time. So that's where we're trying to keep that crop alive and make sure that we get that earliest window. To be totally frank on our farmers, you're trying to weatherproof your business as much as possible because it's been proven that the weather is just getting more extreme, and that is our reality.
And we do have that frost advisory, as I mentioned, stretching right through Chatham-Kent, Sarnia, Lambton, and into London, Middlesex. Now, as Will mentioned, at about -2 tonight, things should be okay. But when the temperatures drop below -3 to -5, that's where things really start to get tricky. And we do have overnight lows in the forecast close to about -5. So we'll get to that. And that frost advisory extending east towards Toronto in and around the Golden Horseshoe. Now, areas right near the lake will not see the temperature drop near freezing. It'll be a bit further inland. Temperature made it to 10 degrees this afternoon. Our low temperature of 4, still coming in well below normal for this time of year. We have a cold northwest wind out there this evening, and the wind's a bit gusty. As we head further north, temperatures 6 to 8 degrees. Some scattered showers continuing. I mentioned this upper air pattern earlier in the week, this upper low that's locked in over Superior. It's a slow mover, and that trough in place. That means cold air in the upper atmosphere materializing as showers at the surface. Now, high pressure in Western Canada. They are basking in some beautiful weather and some warmth. And on the flip side of that, the jet stream drops down and we get into the cool air. We have some rainfall in the Maritimes tonight, moving through Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Temperatures -2 in London overnight. Mount Forest, KW about -3, and Wyerton at -2. So it will be a frosty start to the day. Temperatures have been into the upper teens in the interior of British Columbia, above 20 degrees this afternoon. And then you can see where the air changes quite cool. Now, normally I don't show you this map. This is an upper air map. So it really shows you this ridge in the west, and then we trough out in the east. And that's all of the cold air that's pooling over the Great Lakes. So with that cold air continuing, it generates the showers. So weather story tomorrow, repeat of today. Mix of sun and cloud, chance for light rainfall. Now, there is a weak surface low that's cruising by to the south, and that will bring a little bit of light rainfall tonight to Essex County, so Windsor and Chatham, and that will be through the overnight. Heading into tomorrow afternoon, the chance for some light spotty showers, but again, it'll be one of those days where you're like, okay, this is a good day, a nice mix of sun and cloud, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of rainfall. Forecast high tomorrow, not quite as cool as it was out there today. We'll hit 11 degrees, so a degree warmer, and that chance of a passing shower in the afternoon, although the probability just 40%. Saturday, looking good, a mix of sun and cloud and 10 degrees, and then Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud. We do have the chance for some evening rain, the high of 15. Now, a little blip, but this is a good blip on Monday. We're up to 22 degrees, although it won't last. Tuesday, we're back into showers, and the temperature 19 and 12. Now, if you follow the forecast day to day, this time of year things change so quickly, and in terms of the roller coaster ride that is spring, we are definitely on it. Heading through the week, the temperatures once again start to dip down. Thursday, we are expecting showers once again and back below normal. Midwestern Ontario, a mix of sun and cloud in the forecast as you enjoy your Friday. Expect some nice sunshine, although heading out the door first thing in the morning, it will be quite cool. Frosty conditions for you overnight. Now, your growing season isn't well underway yet, so perhaps you do have some flowers out. You might want to bring those in, but most areas still typically see frost. We're getting into the time where it's not typical, so in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to see those overnight lows hopefully coming up. But it will be as we head into Saturday morning, where the temperature will be quite cold across the region, expecting to dip down to about a -5, which again will be quite problematic for farmers and, of course, the growing season. In our area that's underway, Carlyle, we have all of those beautiful spring flowers and all of those gorgeous buds out on those trees. So the trees, of course, the ones that are hardy will weather this no problem, but it's really those beautiful spring flowers that we're really going to have to keep an eye on. And of course, our crops, and our farmers working extremely hard to keep things protected in the coming days.
For sure. Julie, thanks very much. Still ahead, getting the most of your mileage. With high prices at the pumps, we've got tips to extend your tank as long as possible.
You still got some time to enter for our Look-alike contest if you want to win Luke Combs tickets.
We'll be announcing the 5 finalists who could win their way to Toronto this summer. Details at purecountry93.ca.
Gas prices are rising, with the Canadian average getting closer to $2 a litre. Industry analysts say regular gas will be another 8 cents a litre more tomorrow at roughly $1.90 in Ontario. For drivers, though, there are ways to improve your vehicle's fuel efficiency. And as John Venevalley-Rao reports, right now, every bit counts.
Let's go check your tire pressure.
Teresa DeFelice with the CAA showed us one of the easiest things drivers looking to save on gas should do right now. Check the tire pressures on their vehicle and make sure they're at the recommended level, which is listed on a sticker you can find inside the driver's side door jamb.
Underinflated tires can reduce your fuel efficiency by 4%.
If a tire is underinflated, it has a higher rolling resistance, and the tire has to work harder to get down the road. A survey last year found only about a quarter of Canadian motorists check their tire pressure monthly. Another thing you can do, look in the trunk to see if there's anything you don't need and remove it. An extra 45 kilograms or 100 pounds in a vehicle can increase fuel consumption up to 1%.
If you were carrying around a bag of salt or sand to weigh down your car in the snow, it's time to take it out and help your fuel efficiency.
If you've got roof racks or bikes hanging off the rear, remove them when not in use, because they can, of course, impact the vehicle's aerodynamics.
It causes a drag on your car, and your car has to work harder, which means it's using more fuel.
And experts say try to drive evenly and avoid hard acceleration and sudden braking whenever possible, with aggressive driving shown to lower gas mileage 15 to 30% at highway speeds. Consider using cruise control on the highway to make things steady.
It's nice to have slow acceleration, gradual speed increase.
According to Consumer Reports, another tip, skip the premium gas unless a higher octane is required for your vehicle. And checking gas prices online using apps and websites can help find cheaper prices in your area. That's because experts say prices in the city can vary as much as 10 cents between stations, so it can pay to check.
John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Markets in Toronto and New York ended higher today. The TSX gained 646 points. In New York, the Dow added 790, the Nasdaq up 219. The Canadian dollar gained 1/3 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold is up $68 an ounce. Oil fell about $1.80 a barrel. Later on CTV News, a fashion fundraiser, the local cancer benefit where all the models are survivors. Welcome back. A new study is shedding light on just how much time Canadians spend scrolling. As Pat Foran reports, it's not just a concern for young people.
How much time do you spend on your phone each day?
Several hours, 5 hours a day. Listen to podcasts and whatnot, and then doomsday scrolling.
A recent survey shows people pick up their phones nearly 200 times a day on average and spend more than 4 hours a day on them. Nearly half say they feel addicted.
Too much.
Excessive screen time can affect sleep, stress levels, attention span, mental health, and even our ability to connect with people in real life.
So many notifications, so many texts, so many pings, all of your news is coming through your phone, all of your tasks and to-dos and emails are all coming through your phone, so that you get to a place of burnout where responding to a single text feels tiring.
Consumer Reports says there are simple ways to cut back and reclaim some non-screen time.
Start by just taking short breaks. Even just having your phone in another room for 20 minutes can help you build that comfort and tolerance being away from your device.
You can also delete or limit time-wasting apps like social media, even temporarily. Mute noisy notifications, set your phone to grayscale to make apps less tempting. Replace screen time with books, hobbies, or exercise. And ask friends and family to hold you accountable. And if you need more help,
depending on how much change you feel like you need, you could do anything from install an app that sets stricter screen time limits to downgrading all the way to an old school flip phone.
There are even tools designed to help, like a device called Brick, which blocks apps unless you physically tap your phone to unlock them. Whether you go high tech or back to basics, think less scrolling and more strolling. Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's time for your London list, a rundown of events coming up this weekend. We're joined by Weaver from Afternoons on Pure Country. Weaver, there's a big show happening at the Grand Theatre, and this one is all about community. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So this is the story of the 9/11 terrorist attacks in America, but seen through the eyes of the people of Gander, Newfoundland. The planes had to be diverted somewhere that day, and the people of Gander welcomed their neighbors, and this is a story about kindness and togetherness.
Hockey Helps the Homeless is coming up this weekend. This is always a big event. Draws so many people, again, from our community. Tell us about it.
So Friday night is the draft itself, and then Saturday at the Western Fair Sports Center, it's the games. And this supports a great cause. So who doesn't like hockey? That's helping.
Absolutely. And on the ice, you're just mentioning the ice and hockey.
Yeah.
But on the ice, figure skaters. And this is a big one, Stars on Ice.
My favorite. I love Stars on Ice because I love Kurt Browning and anything that he touches. And this show was inspired by his vision. Elvis Stoico is going to be there. Many Canadian favorites. What's not to love? Stars on Ice. I'm literally really excited.
That's awesome. I grew up watching these guys skate. I was lucky enough to meet Elvis Stoico, and what a guy. Just such a genuine, down-to-earth guy. So it's bound to be a great show. All right, we're wrapping up the weekend with Punch-Out MS. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in our lives, we come across diseases and conditions that you just want to punch right in the face. This is kind of like that. It's boxing combined with a fundraiser and tied up in a neat little bow at London Music Hall Sunday night. Should be a ton of fun.
All right, a great fundraiser to wrap up the weekend in support of MS. That's your London list with Weaver, and we'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on CTV News, who's in the running? Candidates filing their paperwork for October's municipal election. We look at who's officially throwing their name in the mix tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
A stretch of below-average temperatures continue into the weekend and a frost advisory in effect. Thank you to Maureen for sending this photo in, taken on Wellington Street in London. Temperatures remain on the cool side. Sunday we'll start to see a warm-up, and by Monday, 22 degrees.
A defiant tone from Iran's supreme leader today, delivering a written message to the U.S., read out on state television this morning.
به حول قوه الهی آینده درخشان منطقه خلیج فارس آینده بدون آمریکا.
In the statement, the leader says the bright future of the Persian Gulf region will be a future without America. He also wrote Iran will protect its nuclear and missile capabilities as national assets. Iran's nuclear ambitions have been a sticking point in any negotiations about a possible end to the war. Soccer leaders from around the world are in Vancouver for the 76th FIFA Congress. However, Iranian officials are not in attendance because they were denied entry to Canada. Iranian state media are reporting the head of Iran's soccer federation and 2 other senior officials were blocked, one of whom for suspected ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, a listed terrorist entity in Canada. Our Foreign Affairs Minister has said she believes their permission to enter Canada was revoked unintentionally. A tour guide on Nova Scotia's Oak Island is asking for help finding someone who he says likely saved his life. With more on the chance encounter with a mystery tourist, here's Emma Convey.
This is where it all began in 1795, and hopefully this is where it's going to end, one way or the other.
The global hit TV series The Curse of Oak Island is filmed here. It holds a special place in historian Charles Barkhouse's heart. He grew up in the area and has a passion for the over 220-year-old mystery. Last September, while guiding a tour, he also met his guardian angel here.
After the tour, we get back to the base area there, and a lady got off, and she was approaching me, and I thought she was going to ask me a question about Oak Island. But she introduced herself, and she said, "Could I examine your neck?" And she kind of felt my neck, and she said, "You got to call your doctor immediately."
Which is exactly what he did. After several tests, he was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
They took the cancer out, discovered that it was a medullary thyroid cancer, which, if left undetected and untreated, will affect your liver, your lungs, and is fatal.
It's a rare and aggressive form of cancer. They also removed over 40 lymph nodes. 23 of those were cancerous too. He's thankful for the mystery tourist every day.
I put a post up about this because early detection and early treatment for anything is important. And there were some things stated on the internet that just wasn't true, and I wanted to set the record straight. So I refer to her as my guardian angel.
Barkhouse doesn't know her name. Given the turn of events, he wishes he had taken her contact information to thank her.
Everything lined up. It was like a perfect storm that day. You know, everything lined up, and she was in the right place at the right time. And I wish she was here right now. I would thank her, because I'm telling you, she probably saved my life.
Emma Convey, CTV News, Oak Island, Nova Scotia.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Weekend Spotlight, Saturdays, 8 a.m. This Saturday, music, water, food, and thrifting. That's right, we have award-winning singer-songwriter Genevieve Fisher popping in. There's a great water event being put on by the Upper Thames Conservation Authority. Tahiti's a great London success story. We'll find out more. And Goodwill Industries will talk about a great worn and torn program. That's 8 a.m. Saturday.
Finally tonight, a fashion fundraiser in Huron County featuring runway models all connected through their personal cancer battles. With more, here's Scott Miller.
22 cancer survivors will take to the stage at the Kingsbridge Center in Huron County tonight to show themselves and their community that life doesn't have to end with a cancer diagnosis.
I think as a 40-year cancer survivor, I felt it was incumbent on me to show people that there is a life after cancer, that cancer really affects your life, but it doesn't have to define your life.
Another model, Mary Chippa of Wingham, was just diagnosed with breast cancer in August.
I consider myself one of the lucky ones. It was caught early by the radiologist in Worcester, and because of that, I didn't have to have chemotherapy or that type of further treatment. So early diagnosis early treatment is huge.
The Celebrate Life Cancer Survivors Fashion Show sold out in 12 hours. Organizer Anita Snoblin ran similar cancer survivor fashion shows in Chatham before recently moving to Huron County and bringing the idea with her.
We want to make certain that even though you have a cancer diagnosis or a loved one does, it doesn't mean that we can't still celebrate life. And that's the overall theme, is to celebrate life.
Absolutely. And to bring hope to people, to hear the stories and the hope that is embedded in those stories, and just to give people the lift that they need.
The Celebrate Life fashion show will also be raising money for Wheels of Hope, a Canadian Cancer Society program that organizes rides for patients to and from cancer treatments.
It's expensive to go to London or Owen Sound or anywhere. Parking, driving. If you don't have a car, how do you get there? And when you are that scared, when you get that diagnosis, like, your mind immediately goes to the worst. I'm dying.
While the event itself is meant to inspire and educate, walking out on that stage will be emotional for all 22 of the cancer survivors taking part, because at one point they all worried if they'd get to carry on.
You can change up your life, and maybe you have to go off in a different direction. But at the end of the day, you will be who you will be, and it's just one of those tribulations that happens along the way.
The Celebrate Life Cancer Survivors Fashion Show is sold out. It takes place tonight from 7 until 10 at the Kingsbridge Centre, north of Goderich. In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.